Summit. I'm Blake Heisey, joined by Austin Boyer. The football crew is taking on basketball. We've gotten off to a little bit of a rocky start. We apologize for that. But it is the home opener tonight for a Lee Summit boys basketball team that has been getting very high praise from everyone in the media. I mean, seriously, the sky's the limit this year. Obviously, last year, tough Elite 8 exit. This year, things are looking significantly up. Austin, what do we have in store tonight for Lee Summit?
We have a lot of points in store tonight. We have a lot of perimeter shooters on this Lee Summit team, and two guys in particular, LaRue and McGuire, who average 15-plus points a game. So be in store for a high-scoring game today.
Yeah, for sure. Like Austin said, this is the second meeting between Lee Summit and Ruskin this year. To get a little more information on how Lee Summit's done so far this year, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Lauren Holdmeyer. Yes, she's with us for basketball, too. Lauren, take it away.
Olathe South and Ruskin. Tonight, the Tigers will face off again against the Ruskin Golden Eagles after previously beating them 70-56. My player to watch tonight is senior Kaden McGuire, who has already put up 44 points in just 3 games. Kaden says the team has been able to overcome challenges since this is now their 5th year playing together. Tonight's game is a must-win in order for the Tigers to stay ahead of their Suburban Red Conference opponents. Reporting for Tiger Broadcast, I'm Lauren Holdmeyer. Back to you guys.
Welcome back. Thank you, Lauren. As she mentioned, the Tigers coming off a huge tournament win last week, the Blue Valley tournament. Benassi's pass into LaRue is a little hectic, let's just say the least. That's kind of how things have been in the field house. Once again, thank you, Lauren, for that sideline report. Ball's out of bounds, and the Tigers are going to turn it over. Something they haven't done a ton this year. However, in their first time against Ruskin, Ruskin forced 17 turnovers on them, Austin.
Well, Blake, that's going to be the key tonight. If the Tigers can limit their turnovers, it'll be a nice, easy game for them. But if they keep these guys in it, get them on a scoring streak, then they're going to have some problems.
Out of bounds on Ruskin. McDonald will inbound to Benassi. And they're going to go quickly down the floor to LaRue. Back out to McGuire. And into McDonald. He had 21 points in a game that was on local television, Spectrum Sports, on Friday night. And that win over Olathe South. Ruskin now with possession on the Tigers' side of the court. This Tigers defense been solid this year, only allowing 60 points per game.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Blake. You can see it right now with that turnover right there. Speak of the devil, and they're going to counter this and score.
And LaRue in transition, like you said, it's just deadly. The first points of the game goes to Bryson LaRue.
Yeah, they're going to look for that all game, looking for the high tempo here from the Tigers. They're going to sub frequently. They're going to get a lot of fresh guys in, let their starters get some breaks, and put their starters right back out once they get some fresh breaths. McGuire
going the length of the court, and he is not going to get called for a charge. I'm not going to lie, I don't think I agree with that one. And Benassi with a steal and then throws a no-look pass right back to Ruskin. You can see early, this Tigers team plays with a lot of energy. And bear with us for just a little bit. We do not have any rosters for Ruskin. We're going to try to get those as quick as possible. We're going to go to a timeout, and we're actually going to go to our commercial break very quick. We're going to be right back in just a moment.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now.
Welcome back to the field house. Tigers lead 4-0 on Ruskin early on. And look at this work from number 2 on Ruskin. I wish I could say his name. We will be able to say his name in just a little bit. Once again, no rosters yet. We apologize for that, but here's McDonald. And this Tigers offense, 70 points per game so far. McDonald with a sweet pump fake and a sweet J from the corner.
Right when you think they're going to take a shot from the perimeter like they do so often, They're going to pump fake, take it inside for an easier shot, and that's almost a guaranteed 2 points every time.
And something I'm seeing early on from Ruskin as Monty Kemp with the block. They like to backdoor cut quite a bit. That seems to be their preferred method of choice on offense. Here's Alex Benassi seeming to fly his way through the air. He's going to miss the shot, and it's going to go out of bounds. Ruskin ball with 5:35 remaining in the first.
Well, there's just so many athletes on this team. I mean, you look at Benassi, also a football player, quarterback, absolute stud in football. You'd argue he's even more of a stud in basketball. I mean, the way he just took that to the basket, I know it didn't go in, but the way he was able to, like, twist his body in the air.
And there's a dunk early on. We mentioned number 2 earlier for Ruskin. And we just arrived with rosters courtesy of sideline reporter Lauren Holdmeyer. That was Donald Bingham Jr. He's the one with 4 points so far for Ruskin. Caden McGuire with the 3. Tigers take a 9-4 lead. McGuire had 4 threes last time around against Ruskin, shooting 4 for 11 from deep that game. And he's 1 for 1 so far tonight. Missed shot, and here go the Tigers. McGuire in transition, and the foul. Caden McGuire. And if you can see how quickly this Tigers offense gets going, that's a great showing for you right there.
Man, and I mentioned how much McGuire is going to score tonight. Averages, like I mentioned, 15-plus points per game, and he might average 20 tonight. I mean, he's been off to a fire start to the year. He's just been electric from downtown. That's his specialty, and you've seen it tonight, and you will see a lot more of that tonight.
McGuire hits the free throw. It's a 3-point play for him. It's also worth mentioning, once again, Ruskin already burned one of their timeouts. Ray Hughes, head coach for the Eagles, thought they needed a timeout just a few moments ago. And there's that backdoor cut again, and it's a fail yet again, another turnover. McDonald strong in transition. That's going to be goaltending, count the bucket.
Yeah, you can see the high energy already taking place in this game for the Tigers. I mean, courtesy of the loud crowd for a lot of it. I mean, they're staying hype. They're getting into it as well, and that's what's really motivating this Tiger team to get some turnovers early and get ahead very quickly.
And this is going to be a foul on McGuire. Penetrating was Aaron Allen, 6'2" senior. And speak a little bit about height. This Tigers offense, just Tigers team in general, you don't see, too tall of guys out there. Their tallest guy is Monty Kemp. But their average starting lineup is all just a solid basketball height, 6'3". And Ruskin's going to reset their offense with Bingham Jr. up top. He's going to work on McDonald. McGuire pokes it away, and they're going to say it's going to stay with the Eagles.
Yeah, the Ruskin, they're going to really go through number 2 tonight, Donald Bingham Jr. He's their star player, their X factor, some would say, and he's going to be scoring most of their points.
And a Tigers defense that so far already forced 4 turnovers from Ruskin. Here's Allen working on McGuire. He takes a pull-up jumper, and it's a sweet one. 14-6 is now the score.
Yeah, Ruskin needs to really turn this around. They need to start forcing turnovers instead of giving some up, and that'll get them back into this game. But until they do, they're just going to keep on scoring. The Tigers are too dominant in the paint and on the perimeter.
And Monty Kemp heard me say how the Tigers don't have a true big man, unlike how they have had in recent years with Max Wisner, and he gets that offensive rebound. There's a 3 in the corner. It's D'Angelo Woods, the 5'11" senior. This Ruskin team, just like the Tigers team, is loaded with seniors. Lots of experience on both sides, and so we're going to see some quality basketball tonight. And here's Benassi with guys seemingly all over him, and what a cut by LaRue. And the fact that Coach Blake Little for the Tigers didn't even seem to react to that play just shows what's expected of this team with how much chemistry they've built up over the last few years.
I mean, that's just the quarterback and Alex Benassi being able to find the slightest of gaps to fit that ball in, and it's going to pay off for them a lot this season.
Alex Benassi seems to fall, and he ends up with it somehow. He always pulls a trick up his sleeve. McDonald quick in transition, and LaRue lays it in. Whistles after the layup, and we have an injured player on Ruskin. Doesn't look the best. He seems to be in pain. I can't quite see his number from up here. I believe it's D'Angelo Woods, and it is D'Angelo Woods holding that knee We see the trainer, I should say, and they're just seeming to try to tend to his knee. I don't know if you saw what happened, Austin, but I'm assuming it was that collision with Benassi on the floor.
Yeah, you're right. Let's hoping it's just a Charlie horse, but sometimes you just really never want to see a player go down grabbing their knee. I mean, we see that so much in collegiate and NBA. You just know in high school that it can really be dangerous to these players.
Yeah, as you said, basketball especially, I mean, I know it sounds like common sense it's obviously a harder surface than most sports, but basketball and volleyball are tending where you see those contact knee injuries a lot more. It's just simply not a football field where you can fall on your knee. As Landon Shepard in the game for the Tigers now, as well as Josh Manning. That name might ring a bell if you listen to Austin and I's commentary. We like to call him Randy Moss on the football field. He has Division I offers all across the board as a wide receiver and returner. Here's another turnover. Alex Benassi in transition, and the sweet floater. And this Tigers team's put up 22 points on Ruskin with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And that's a good pass inside and finished by Robert Grant. He's the tallest player on Ruskin at 6'3". He's kind of their Monty Kemp, to say.
And really height might come in as an advantage here for these Tigers, as Benassi hits another shot. He's been on fire today, as well as this whole Tiger team for that.
Yeah, Benassi on fire is a little bit of an understatement, I almost feel like. He shot that from college range, just a few feet behind the actual high school three-point line. Here's Allen inside, and that's not going to go anywhere. Landon Shepard quickly in transition. We've seen how fast the Tigers fly in this scenario. And McDonald just wide open under the lane. There's the quarterback vision that you mentioned by Benassi.
There he
is.
is.
Ray Hughes needs another timeout.
Maybe we'll see that Benassi to Randy Moss connection in this game with a few alley-oops to get this loud crowd pumped up even more than they already are.
Yeah, it's obviously pretty loud in here already. The highly anticipated home opener for Lee Summit. We mentioned in our little pregame spaz that the Tigers, they have a lot of high hopes this year. They made it all the way to the Elite Eight last year, despite these varsity players not really true getting a solid year of experience because of COVID. They were playing in limited capacity crowds, and so it didn't feel like a varsity year. But they were preseason ranked number 5 in Missouri this year. That's the second highest public school ranking. All the other teams out of St. Louis, so Tigers are one of the clear favorites on the Kansas City side of this state.
Yeah, and just all these seniors in the lineup really helps them just have all that maturity. And we saw it kind of with Tiger Soccer this year, how they had 12 seniors on their lineup, and they had a really good team as well. So I'm looking for some really special teams from this basketball team this year.
I believe that foul was on McDonald, but as you said, this team is very special, and they're going to go places. It's just how far are they going to go? And the loud crowd's method of choice to make the shooter miss, who happens to be Dante Amarin Mitchell, is to sing happy birthday to him. I'm not sure what that's about, but now they're barking at him. Nick Beach, loud crowd leader, kind of multi-sport athlete. I could see him up here, was the one kind of associating with that. Benassi, he can't be stopped, whether he's getting assists or whether he's scoring the ball. And the Tigers have 29 points with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the first quarter.
Man, I'm so excited the loud crowd's back. I believe the first time there was a full capacity crowd back here in the field out here at Lee Summit High School was that the state quarterfinal game, whenever like their last game of the year. And you could tell the crowd was really rocking then, and it's rocking even more now.
And I'll correct you just a smidge, Austin. It wasn't full capacity. However, they did allow, people other than family members or, guardians
yes, you're correct,
to come in the game. And Alex Kramer, he's a first-year varsity man, and he splashes that three from a few feet behind the arc. Another turnover. It has to be at least in double digits now for Ruskin. Alex Benassi with a long court pass to Kramer, and he just simply can't bring it in. He's going to get called for traveling. The Tigers turn it over, but they're up 19 on Ruskin early on.
Well, Blake, I was anticipating a high-scoring game, but I didn't think this high-scoring. I mean, they're on pace for around 98, 100 points in this game if they keep this up. And Ruskin only has 13 points, which is going to be a real problem for them in the second half, and really the rest of the game to try and fight their way back. It's going to seem really improbable against this Tiger offense.
Luke McDonald trying to set up Josh Manning for a Randy Moss moment here tonight. That's the end of the first quarter. 32-15 is our score. Pretty electric, if I say so myself. Let's just say last time these two teams played each other, Caden McGuire, I mentioned earlier, had 4 3-pointers. He had 23 points. LaRue had 14. Shepard and McDonald both had 11. If you notice, the name I haven't said yet, Alex Benassi really struggled that game. He only had 3 points. And so that kind of alone, Benassi struggling, we're not sure what it was. It's just it wasn't his night. But as you can see tonight, he's firing on all cylinders, and this team is up 17 on a team they only beat by 14 points not even a week ago.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a few more than 3 points tonight. I mean, they've just been all electric all around the board. You've seen Benassi with this great athleticism driving into the paint, and that's just going to keep going for him the rest of the game and really the rest of the season.
Yeah, as you said, this team and we say it time and time again, and that's kind of the same thing with all Lee Summit teams this year, is that they're all loaded with seniors. You and I were soccer players, 11 seniors, on that team, a whole entire lineup, which is obviously easier to cover in basketball. You only have 5 players, but this typical rotation is 7 seniors and a junior, that one junior being Josh Manning. So other than that, no one else has touched the floor yet. So Blake Little's just rolling with these 8 guys for now, and it's paid very well. Looking like they're on the way to a 4-0 start, but I don't want to jinx anything. We're just 15 seconds into the second quarter. And Shepard himself is going to bring it up, and he's going to get it up to Kramer. And the Tigers are going to look to kind of reset their offense now with McGuire. Kramer with a catch and shoot off the mark. Rebound by Sanders.
I really can't name one person on this Tiger team that really can't shoot from the perimeter. They all have that shot, and they can all really go inside, which makes them that much better than really every other team they play.
Yeah, as you said. And then Allen was the one who missed that jumper. Bangham forced the ball out of bounds. And Kemp's going to not let that ball go anywhere. We're going to do the exact same thing.
Now they're going to watch here. They're going to try to get number 2 the ball, which they end up doing, yep, and he's just going to try and take him on. Maybe find a quick slant in the hole.
Yeah, they really try to it's almost like they like to thread the needle with everything they do on offense, and that is great defense by the Tigers. It's just a little bit of an unlucky break. That's Bangham.
Yeah, unlucky break to say the least, but that's just a great effort by Bingham to stay with that play and end up getting the 2 points that his team desperately needs right now.
Desperately need is correct. They're down 15 right now, and they need to get some stops. LaRue for 3, money. That's all I have to say is money. That's all I have to say at this point.
That's all you need to say.
And that is an athletic, kind of acrobatic, is that the right word?
Acrobatic,
I was about to
yes,
say
sir.
aerobic. That's an exercise. Play by Allen to get to the line. And he'll have 2.
Let's see what the loud crowd brings this time.
I'm hearing barks again.
I
see
too.
Nick Beach as the culprit of it all.
And he was the culprit back in the football season too, with a lot of the things that the loud crowd did.
I will say the one game I was in the loud crowd last year when we did not stream the homecoming game, and they gave me the megaphone, I think I did a pretty good job of getting the student section to be rather loud.
I agree with you there, Blake.
Benassi quickly up the court, and Allen snatched it out of the air, but it falls right back to LaRue, and he gets it to McDonald, and all sorts of players in the lane. That seemed to be where there's the majority of the players, and I believe Ruskin was able to get off a timeout, so that's actually already their 3rd timeout. They only have 1 remaining.
Ouch.
6:21 remaining in the second quarter, so the first half. 35-17 is our score. And so far, just between these two teams, I think out of the 35 points for the Tigers, about 25 or more have been in transition. And so if Ruskin can just eliminate their turnovers, they can get back in this game. It's just this Tigers team has so many different weapons, whether it's outside with McGuire, LaRue, or those backdoor cuts with Benassi and McDonald. Can't leave Monty Kemp out of it either.
Well, I think you can, or this Tiger team they can shoot with anyone from the perimeter. They can also drive with anyone to the basket. That's what makes them so dynamic, so powerful on all the different levels of their offense, which is going to be really hard for this Ruskin defense to stop, even if they make a few adjustments along the way.
Yeah, this Ruskin team is going to need to stop what they're doing. I was not going to say that, but that's because the clock was not completely on, and that three-pointer that you just saw is not going to count. And we're just going to reset and act like that didn't happen. Take a moment to recognize all the members of our team tonight. Once again, I'm Blake Heisey, joined by the future Hall of Fame golfer Austin Boyer, as well as Lauren Berry, our producer. Can't forget Nick Bellamy and Elena Twinner running our cameras. Lauren Holdmeyer, our sideline reporter. It's a team effort here, and obviously can't forget our advisory, Lane McDonald. We're bringing you TBTVH coverage of this basketball game tonight. But enough about us. Back down to the court, and Benassi is just going to lose it out of bounds. Just kind of mishandled it. That's one of the stops that Ruskin needs.
Yeah, I agree. They can't just get stopped, so they need to find something that's going to hype up their bench. They need like a three-pointer, an and one, a dunk, something that's going to get this bench and really this whole team going.
Yeah, they just need to find ways to consistently score on the Tigers. I will say the easiest way to score in basketball is transition, and Monty Kemp said no. Swatting that off the glass, but kind of a risky pass in transition is stolen by Bingham, and he kind of loses it, but now Ruskin gets to kind of settle down a little bit with Allen. Allen's turnaround jumper is just a little too far and brought in by McDonald.
Man, at some points this game has just been crazy so far, and I think that really works towards the advantage of the Tigers. As Bryson LaRue again, cannot believe it.
Bryson LaRue has just developed into one of the most valuable players that Blake Little's probably ever coached. And he reminds me of someone like Blake Spellman back in the day who can just do it all. I mean, he can pass the ball, he can finish inside, he can finish outside. Corner three, he's gonna rim out. Rebound Benassi. How fast will the Tigers go down the court this time? They get it to Kramer and quickly to Kemp, and that's just a great defensive play there by Bingham to set up for that charge.
That is, and that's really the only downside with the Tigers, the height. They're gonna have to be more physical inside. When you're more physical inside, you tend to pick up a few more charging fouls than you really would. So that's the only thing that the Tigers got to really watch out for tonight.
Yeah, I can't remember. Someone at home can correct me. That might be 2 fouls on Monty Kemp. I can't exactly remember. There haven't been a lot of foul calls this game, but Blake Little did seem to kind of throw Josh Manning towards midcourt as soon as Kemp picked up that foul. Corner three is kind of just going to die on the rim. Another rebound by McDonald, and I have a feeling he's someone who could have a double-double this game.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's like great at dropping dimes just like that, as we saw. And he's also got a dagger from the three-point range that he can really shoot from wherever he wants, just like so many people on this Tiger team.
Yeah, Randy Moss there with that layup. And once again, it's a jumper that will not fall for Ruskin. That's 5 straight that have not been successful. A little pass over the head by LaRue, and I don't know if I agree with that charge, but it is going to go against the Tigers. It was going to be a great assist by LaRue, but McDonald is going to pick up his second.
Yeah, I guess you could see where the refs are coming from there. I mean, McDonald did lower his shoulder, but did the defender have his feet set is the big question there.
Yeah, that's the question. I thought he was still moving just a little bit, but the official had a better view than me. He was right in front of the play. So Ruskin just seemed sort of out of sync this entire first half. Bingham with a crossover, and that's going to fall way short. LaRue in transition quickly in the reverse. Oh my goodness, this is just a clinic for the Tigers.
Oh, clinic to say the least. I mean, every drive is going in, and they're playing well on defense enough right now. Their man-to-man defense is really powerful, that Blake Little has drawn up for them, and it's really working for them.
I mean, I don't even know what else to say. This Tigers offense has just exploded in the first half.
I mean, here's the big thing. The Ruskins run their offense from the three-point line. They can't get anyone inside. I mean, that's how strong this Tiger defense is. Every time they go inside just like that, they're getting the ball taken away.
And now the Tigers with another athletic finish by Benassi. And I'm not sure who called timeout. I think it was Blake Little.
I think it was too.
It was Blake Little.
Yep.
And the Tigers tonight have basically executed exactly what they've tried to do all season, which is force turnovers and act quickly in transition. I mean, out of the 46 points, seriously, I bet 35 are in transition. There's just so much that they've been doing. People like McDonald get the rebound quickly and then look to fling the ball as basically as far as they can up the court. But wow, what is that, a 29-point lead? My math teachers would not be excited with me not knowing that off the top of my head, but and I will tell you, after those air balls, Bingham was getting heckled.
Oh, yeah.
And he still is. I see Riley Neff out there.
Yeah, this is just such a hard environment to play, and I kind of equate this to Allen Fieldhouse in college basketball. It's so hard to play there once you're down.
And that kind of goes with any Fieldhouse in high school because the students just get so into it, and you are right on top of them. I mean, you are within about a foot of Nick Beach yelling in your ear if you airball a shot. That long three is going to swish D'Angelo Woods, and the Ruskin offense ends a scoring drought of about 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is definitely not what they had in store tonight. They thought they could really work the ball inside, which they really haven't been able to do at all, and it's really paying off for the Tigers right now. You know, a few good takes, just like that. Randy Moss, another putback layup, and they're up by even more.
And I mentioned earlier how this team for the Tigers is not that tall. Josh Manning is listed as 6'3", but I mean his vertical. Let's just say he's taller than 6'3" if he's guarding. You know, people way taller than him. He's basically still even with them. Great ball movement by the Tigers.
Play.
Yeah.
Great play right there.
That reminds me of the triangle offense that Phil Jackson used to run with the Chicago Bulls. I mean, that basically is exactly what that was. You kind of see a little retro play by Little. LaRue is in the open floor. Will he dunk it? Almost. Yeah, it's kind of a layup dunk.
Yeah, there it is. Now he just better make that, because I don't know how mad Little would get at him if he misses that, especially when they're up by this much. I mean, adding insult to injury on this Ruskin team is not what you want, and not really a great sportsmanship play by the Tigers.
Yeah. Another pass turned over. I think Ruskin's above 20 turnovers at this point. Benassi inside. He's going to get fouled, and he'll have 2. But on my pregame notes that I always take, whether we're commentating football, basketball, wrestling, whatever we're doing, I wrote that Ruskin has a lot of slow starts and scoring droughts that are very common, and that hurts them quite a bit. And that's kind of been exactly what they've had tonight, a really slow start, a lot of turnovers, and they let the Tigers just get way ahead, and then those scoring droughts is kind of a double whammy with those and the slow start. And that's how the Tigers are winning by 30 points now, with 31 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, and when you look at that first game, they played 70-56 in the Tigers' favor. That was at a neutral site. That was at, what was it, Blue Valley High School, I think was where that tournament was at. But now that we're at the field at Lee Summit High School here, it's a whole different scene and a whole different task for this Ruskin team.
Yeah, it's certainly a little more difficult for Ruskin, and this might not be the last time these two teams see each other this season. They might end up playing each other 3 times, as Ruskin's scheduled to play in the Summit Girls Shootout as well in the coming months. Ruskin's going to hold it for the last shot here with Allen. And he's going to try to get to work. Kick it out for a 3. It's going to rim in and out. 5 seconds on the clock. Manning to Benassi with 2. He's going to have a shot, and it's going to be off the mark. That's going to end the first half. 54-23. An explosive performance by the Tigers. They're on pace to hit 100 points.
Wow is all I can say.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to say, Austin. But, I mean, wow. I mean, I don't know what else to say myself. That was a clinic. And Ruskin definitely has their work cut out for them. Try to pick up 31 points on a Tigers defense that's only allowed 60 points per game so far this season. That's pretty difficult.
That is very difficult. And as I mentioned earlier, it's all in that man-to-man defense that Blake Little's drawn up. And it's worked for them so well this year. They're sticking to their man. They're not really switching with anyone unless they need to. And it's paying dividends right now, only letting 23 points up in the first half.
Yeah, you said it best. We once again want to apologize for the little bit of a rocky start we had tonight. It's been a little bit of a hectic scene all around the field house. We didn't have rosters for the first few minutes of the game, but that's beside the point. We're going to go to our traditional halftime break. Tigers lead 54-23 over Ruskin. We'll be back after halftime. Welcome back to the field house here at Lee Summit. It's kind of a construction zone all around us. The field house has kind of been a work in progress, as is the whole rest of the school, to say the least. It's about to be a big project, to say the least. But yeah, that's basically all that. I guess you could say 54-23. It's been a crazy, to say the least, first half. Any words, Austin?
Well, we'll expect to see a few more points today. We'll say that for the least. But yeah, I'll just look for this Lee Summit team to keep on driving like that, but also don't do that as a charge.
And Ruskin's going to try to bring the ball up the floor with Allen. And body's kind of flying all over the place, and Benassi's going to get called for a travel.
Now, I will say this court was actually newly waxed just a few days ago, so that's why some of these guys are losing their footing. I mean, they should have done a good job of wiping it before, but it looks like even though there's so a few guys slipping.
Was it actually?
Yeah, it was.
It was actually waxed.
It was, yes.
Huh. The more you know. That's a block by Kemp. It's seeming rather quiet here in the field house right now. And McGuire coming in now. McDonald in the corner. And that's how the Tigers open the second half scoring.
Well, we were talking in the first half about what McDonald can do, and you know, that's just the beginning of it. He can pass in. He's like we said, he's probably going to get a double-double today with his assists and then his points as well. So he's been playing really well at the start of the year.
Woods with the three for Ruskin. They trail by 31. And if I'm the Tigers, I'm going with the very slow-paced offense this half. McDonald from in the paint, just once again almost unstoppable. No one on Ruskin has been able to stop him. He's not doing a great job of contesting. That's a sweet move, though, and finish by Allen.
The real question is, will they keep their offense at a slower pace, or are they going to keep going faster? You'd think they would, but judging by how it's going so far, it looks like they're going to keep it up.
And Kemp gets the finish and the foul, like you said. The big question that I kind of want to figure out, though, is are the Tigers going to hit 100 points?
I think they do. I mean, they've already gotten 7 points this half, and maybe another one. Nope. But yeah, I think they will. I mean, we're only 2 minutes into the second half, and they've already scored 7. So I think the odds are in their favor.
Yeah, I would say that too. They've already scored 9 points, like you said. And this is the kind of part where it's getting a little hard to figure out what to talk about here in a 33-point game.
100%. Great moves there.
Yeah, Bangham, what a move inside. He draws the foul. He'll have 2.
Now if he would have finished that, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, he just went all the way up and all the way down and almost really got it in, but he drew a foul there, which is good for the Ruskin Eagles.
Yeah, like you said. And in that Blue Valley tournament, the Tigers outscored their opponents 210-180, so plus 30 points. 12 of those came in that Friday win over Olathe South in the championship, and let's just say the loud crowd certainly showed up for that as we hear Nick Beach barking once again.
No, 100%. I mean, you're going to hear the loud crowd this year, and as corny as it might seem, they're going to be a big factor in this team winning. I mean, you see like the 12th man in Seattle. You're going to see the 6th man here in Lee Summit this whole season. I mean, the loud crowd's only going to grow larger as the season goes on and once they hit their conference opponents.
Missed shot there by Woods, and it's going to be a rebound quickly. The Tigers up the floor. McDonald in the paint. I'll go out on a limb to say he scores, and he does.
Yeah, oh, that's just.
And
look at that.
And McDonald, it's going to be a blocking foul. And that's probably going to be a tech, I'd assume.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a technical there. You can't do that.
Well, doesn't appear to be a tech.
It might just be a common foul.
We hear a lot of people yelling from both sides.
We do.
That was number 4, William Sanders. He got up very unhappy. And the officials kind of talking it out with the Ruskin coach.
Got a personal foul called against number 4, William Sanders, and a technical foul called against number 4.
So yeah, he's going to get kind of doubled up there. If you heard the PA announcer. Got a personal foul and a technical foul, so it will be the tech like we kind of pictured beforehand. And McDonald is going to shoot, I don't know how many free throws. It could be as many as 4.
Now, he might do 2 with just him and 2 more with everyone else in the blocks, but I think it might be 2 free throws, and then they get the ball on the baseline.
Well, if I'm right, I believe it should be 4. It should be 2 for the foul because it was a shooting foul on top of another 2. It's just whether McDonald. It's whether McDonald will shoot the other 2. And yeah, I think that's what they're talking about right now is whether there's going to be 4. And yeah, there is going to be 4. And let's see what they decide to do here. The Tigers have actually been a pretty good free throw shooting team. I feel like this is a good time to throw in that stat. 14 for 20 from the line in their last game against Ruskin. McDonald will shoot the next 2. These are the technical free throws. And that makes him 2 for 3 on these. Kind of a sarcastic, loud cheer from the loud crowd to kind of rub it in a little more. And his 4th free throw. Not often you see 4 free throws is good, and the student section's loving it.
Oh, I'm loving it too. I mean, if you're on the Ruskin Eagles team right now, my emotions would be going AWire because, man, this loud crowd really likes to rub it in on you, and they certainly have done that tonight, especially when you're up by almost 40 points, 39 points here in the second half, about halfway through.
Quick steal by Ruskin up the floor, and it's going to be transition points. It was Willis with the finish. And another quick outlet pass by Benassi. He's flying up the floor.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Isaiah Hunter for 2.
Isaiah Hunter on the layup there, but let's just say that was a team effort once again. We've seen this Tigers team, it's almost like soccer, like they're pinging the ball or just having those combinations. They're just picking apart the Eagles defense.
And the funny thing is about that, Alex Benassi didn't even look at where he was throwing it. He had such a great sixth sense there, which that's a really good basket there.
Robert Grant with that.
Yeah, but it's just amazing how he can find that pass without even looking.
He's got that field vision, QB general. But basically anything on the field. Monty Kemp. It's just too easy for the Tigers at this point. 72, and we are now just exactly halfway through the third quarter. They might just hit 100, and that's an even better move there.
Did that go through his legs?
It might have. Bingham once again. He's kind of been the standout player for the Eagles tonight. Hunter is going against Bingham right now, but he's going to kick it out to McGuire. His 3, no good. And McGuire is going to redeem himself with a steal, and he's just going to lay it up. He doesn't trust his vertical. Yeah, I can't dunk myself, and I'm taller than McGuire, so I can't really say anything. An explosive move there from Aaron Allen, and all of a sudden Ruskin's starting to put together a consistent amount of points. It's just the problem is they had those long scoring droughts, as we mentioned. It reminds me of Mizzou basketball.
Oh yeah, especially when they played it out in Philadelphia on Saturday.
That was a little ugly.
Yeah, as us both being Missouri basketball fans, that was one of the hardest games to watch, really, since I've been watching and following them.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in Conzo Martin,
I'm
as you probably know about me, but that just was not the best. Let's just say the basketball situation at Lee Summit's a little bit better. Blake Little has a little more control of what's going on here. That's going to be on the floor, I believe. It's going to be a foul on Landon Shepard. He's back in the game. Kind of snuck under my radar. And Ruskin's going to have the ball inbounded from under the basket.
You know, if Ruskin would have started like this could be a closer game, but once really the Tigers got up by 6 or 7 and really 8 in the first quarter, you kind of had a feeling that it was just going to be all offense for the Tigers.
Yeah, those transition baskets were just coming and coming, and they would not stop coming.
And I don't think they're going to stop either. I mean, still 2 minutes to go in the third quarter plus a whole nother quarter of play. And with Caden McFire shooting lights out tonight.
Caden McFire.
Like he always does.
We could have a lot of nicknames for
yes.
the guys out there. Mr. Consistent Landon Shepard's out there.
He is.
My old commentating partner, Jordan Wood, was the coiner of that statement. Jordan, if you're listening. But Ruskin inbounds the ball with 2:15 remaining in the third quarter. The Tigers well on pace to hit 100. And McGuire's going to get called for a shooting foul. Allen is going to go to the line.
You know,
and that's McGuire's fourth.
Yeah, you know, I really couldn't tell if he touched him there, but it might have just been like the ball slipped out of his hands, but nonetheless, it's 2 free throws for the Eagles.
And first free throw's good. Benassi officially checks in for McGuire. Tigers 5 on the floor right now is Hunter, Benassi, Manning, Kramer, and Shepard, a.k.a. Consistent. First name Mister. And he'll bring the ball up the floor right now. Manning in the corner. Can he shoot? No, not that time, but Benassi with the quick rebound, quick putback. He has to be in double digits. That's not even really a question. He might have a double-double with assists, actually.
I mean, it doesn't really matter your size whenever you can just get a body on him in the paint and get those boards, which is what those Tigers are going to have to focus on this year.
And that was, let's just say, Alex Benassi fooled them a little bit, and Manning goes up, and I thought that was going to be an and one, but
I did too, but
apparently not. And a good cut
great
once
move.
again. Yeah. Iron Allen. And yeah, this Ruskin team's offense has picked up quite a bit. They are almost getting doubled up. But they certainly have, their offense has picked up, or else they would be getting doubled up right now. Tigers have a 37-point lead, and that's a beautiful backdoor cut by Kramer. Even better vision by Shepard, who he used to be a quarterback back in middle school. So he kind of has that vision like Benassi. And
here he goes again.
Is he going to try to dunk it? No, he just goes up strong, and he actually misses it. It's a good contest, but Hunter gets it and puts it up real quick. And the Tigers, it's appearing that they're going to hit triple digits. It's 85-44, a 41-point lead. Just kind of building on the biggest lead they've had all season. Bangham pulls up, and that's going to be no good. Benassi quickly in transition. And, oh, no, they did not. Oh, my. That would have exploded the student section.
I think exploded might be an understatement there. That was a great play on both ends by the Tiger defense and offense. But
oh my. And Bangham's going to hold it for the last shot. 5 seconds remaining in the third. He's going to go up, heave it off the glass. And that's all we have for you right now for the third quarter. 85-44 our score. Well, if you want a little bit of stats on the Tigers to fill some room, LaRue coming into this game averaging 15-plus points per game. Shot 52% on the season. The team was shooting 46%. And man, my pregame notes, I said look out for Josh Manning, in parentheses Randy Moss off the bench, and that's kind of been, I'd say, a solid note because he's been very into it.
Now, I do want to add something real quick. There was, right as the buzzer sounded for the end of the third quarter, there was 2 resource officers over on the Tigers bench, and one of them, Officer Sims, was actually getting on some of the guys on the bench for going over there in the Ruskin crowd and making a scene. So that's just something to see. But this live crowd's pumped up, and I'm loving every second of it.
And we're seeing some players in there that have not they have not been on the floor so far this year. We see Keegan Rainey, Jalen Johnson, just to name a few.
And Blake, while you were talking, actually, another note on that, we've seen Luke McDonald leave the field house. He, I don't know if he's going to be playing anymore this game. He might be going to the locker room. I don't know what's up with that. We'll have to get some further information on that, but a little scary.
It is scary. D'Anthony Carter is the other player that hasn't seen much time, and he's on the floor right now. Keegan Rainey. Carter goes up and can't get it to fall. You hear the student section really getting into it. And oh my goodness, Carter with the block, the smile on his face. the student section going a little crazy.
That was, I think I could see that coming from a mile away. I mean, you see kind of like him lurking behind the Ruskin player, and then boom, out of nowhere, just takes it right out of his hands.
Yeah, it's just to say the least. And every time the ball gets in his hands, the whole student section just seems to cheer for no reason. Long three by Kramer.
Bang.
Automatic. He's found his stroke this season as a varsity player. He's waited 3 years to get here, and boy, has Kramer arrived.
He's been choking it really well. I remember watching a few games last year on the JV squad, and he was hitting everything. I mean, there was one time coaches were just putting a man on him the whole entire game, no matter where he was in the court, because he knows he can pull it from anywhere.
And here's Kramer going up the floor. It's Johnson, the migrated running back, and he's going to lose it out of bounds. Ruskin will take possession with this new Tigers team, and I believe the clock is nonstop running at this point. I don't know if they're going to hit 100. I don't think they're going to hit 100.
I think they are.
They need to get 12 points.
It'll be a tough order. I don't think that's what Coach Little wants to do, put that type of thing on his team there, but I still think they're going to score 100.
2 straight turnovers for the Tigers. It's going to be a double dribble. First a loss out of bounds, and now a double dribble. But I would say this is kind of the future of the Tigers, but it's not. Keegan Rainey's a senior.
Well, they have 3 seniors out there right now.
Yeah, so it's kind of, like I said, this is just a team full of seniors. And someone I don't see on the bench tonight is Caleb Souders, or else he might be one of the players that Coach Little would throw in. And here's Kramer with it. One of the seniors kind of trying to lead this group out there. Keegan Rainey's 3 is off the mark. That might have blown the roof off this place.
Oh, yeah.
And Hunter's going to get called for a foul. That clock is continuously running, as we mentioned earlier. 4:45 remains in this game. 88-51.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to hit 100 either, Blake. They haven't scored in a minute and a half or so with this running clock. It's going to be a tough task here, we'll say.
Well, it's almost the equivalent of hitting 100 if someone like Keegan Rainey can splash a 3.
Oh, yeah.
in the corner. That three is short.
Great offensive board there.
Here's Smith for 2.
Here's Smith.
You know, I will say, even though they're down by a lot, this Ruskin team has shown a lot of character. I mean, they've almost scored as many points as they did in the tournament against Lee Summit earlier in the season. They scored 56 in that game. They're at 53 right now. So they've shown a lot of character on how they can still be down but still be working hard. That's got to make the coaches happy.
And Ruskin's actually going to end up with a similar amount of points, if not more, than they had the first time they played Lee Summit. Just the difference was Lee Summit's offense was firing on all cylinders tonight. I mean, they just could not stop it. Inside to Johnson. He's going to go up and the foul. Jalen Johnson opens his account on the varsity level, and he'll have an attempt for a three-point play.
I know he's not tall, maybe the shortest man in the court for Lee Summit right now, but it doesn't matter when you're that strong. You can pull down any board, and you can get up to the rim like that. It's just hard to stop, even if you're under 6 foot like Jalen is.
He converts the three-point play, and now he's in there, and he's going to get the rebound. Gets it to Rainey. The crowd getting louder. And that's going to be stolen and going quickly down the court. And kind of the ball flying all over the place. It was Dazon Harvey, and he shoots a three, and the crowd's chanting air ball. I think it actually hit the rim.
I did too. They did that a few minutes ago as well, where it hit the rim and they were chanting air ball.
In their defense, I would say if I was standing where they were over there, that I would have thought that was an air ball too. But a kick ball, and the Tigers are going to inbound. Rainey shuffling his feet out to Hunter in the corner. Tigers in absolutely no hurry. Gets it to Rainey, his two-pointer off the mark.
Now the loud crowd really wants Rainey to score here. And I'm going to be honest, I do too. It's just such a great thing seeing these guys come out, these guys on the bench not usually getting a lot of playing time, getting some playing time today, and the loud crowd just being all for it.
Like you said, 1:45 remaining. And the thing about this atmosphere right now is if you were in here as Hunter misses his three, but rebound by
So
Jalen
big.
Johnson.
Oh,
If you heard this field house right now, you would think that it's still a close game. And the headsets Austin and I wear, they're designed to kind of filter out the background noise. As that's a good, strong layup by Dante Amron Mitchell. But they're kind of designed to block out the background noise, so you might not hear it very well from home, but it's still very loud in here because this loud crowd is still buzzing. And, oh, that's going to be a travel called. And I think if this was a little bit of a closer game, Blake Little would have been pretty unhappy with that call.
I agree.
But regardless, Tigers are up 91-55. They scored 3 points in the last 6 minutes. And that is a foul on the other end. And that might take us down to triple zeros.
I think you're right, Blake.
35 seconds. I'm sure the loud crowd hoping that something happens where one of these players can heave up a full court shot.
Yeah, I agree.
As 20 seconds remain in the game. Shooting is Bryce Johnson, and he cannot convert. That's no good either. Here comes Carter, and he could have taken it up, and I think he might have been able to dunk it, but that's going to take us to the end of the game. Obviously good sportsmanship there by Carter to just let it go. Your final score from the Fieldhouse: 91-55 in favor of Lee Summit. They improve to 4-0. Ruskin falls to 1-5. And their second loss to Lee Summit this season. Any final thoughts, Austin?
Well, the offense for Ruskin was pretty identical to the offense they had against Lee Summit the first time. You know, scoring 55 points this time and 56 points earlier in the season. but the primary difference was the Lee Summit offense. They got off to that really hot start, scoring 32 points, I believe it was, in the first quarter, something around there.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop from there. I mean, ended up scoring 91 points. That has to put a smile on your face if you're Blake Little, knowing that how many different weapons your offense has.
Yeah, they were firing on all cylinders. I've said that phrase a few times, but it was the truth. Whether it was from, everywhere except the paint to in the paint. I mean, anytime they crossed half court, they shot the ball very well. We obviously don't have the stats right now on how well they shot from the field, but I'm sure that field goal percentage could have had a very high chance of being above 50%. Maybe even nearing 60. I mean, they were shooting the ball very efficiently, and a great all-around performance from the Tigers on offense and defense. Once again, 91-55 in favor of Lee Summit. They stay undefeated. It's going to be exciting to see where this team goes this year. And I believe that's going to be all we have for you tonight. Once again, I'm Blake Heisey. Alongside me, the long-legged Austin Boyer, our producer Lauren Berry, Nick Bellamy and Elena Twinner on the cameras. Can't forget our sideline reporter Lauren Holdmeyer. And for our advisor Elaine McDonald, this has been TVTV8's live coverage of Lee Summit